am getting on here to just share my thoughts about being 30-something and not having a boyfriend, not having kids, and not being married. I have been so sad. I've been so depressed because I thought that I would have a family by now. I thought that I would at least be engaged or in a relationship at the minimum, and I'm not. And I'm getting older and I'm getting scared. Am I gonna be on here one day coming to terms that I'm just gonna be single? Like, it doesn't even sound right. I feel like I'm in such denial sometimes. Like, no, there's no way that I'm not gonna be a wife. There's no way I'm not gonna be a mom. And I'm like, am I being delusional, or am I just having faith, or am I crazy? Each day I struggle with this so much, and I just don't know what to tell myself. Do I tell myself, don't worry, you'll be fine, like you're gonna find somebody tomorrow or next year and be able to have kids before it's too late? Or do I tell myself, maybe you should figure out how to live life as a single woman and be happy? I don't know. That's all I have for today.
I've been seeing some videos on my For You page, and I think that it is finally time to discuss the female loneliness epidemic. Because I know the men have had their own thing, and I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not a man, right? But I will say that the men are more built for it than us. We are not built for this, ladies. We don't know how to be alone. These men have been bottling up their emotions and not sharing them with anybody since they were 6, 7, 8 years old. Some of us have never done that. We've always had someone to talk to, a friend, a family member, a significant other, something. And it seems like in 2025, the girls are running out of options because the dating market is terrible. Y'all are literally making fun of girls that are in happy, healthy relationships, saying that having a boyfriend is embarrassing, miserables. And then y'all also don't have any friends because anytime somebody reposts something that you disagree with, oh, that's how you feel about immigration policy, you're not my friend anymore. Now y'all don't have any friends. Like, it's not going to end well if your requirement for somebody to have a relationship with you is that they have to be on the exact same page with you 100% of the time. No one is. We are all people with our own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and ideas. And if you don't respect that in another person, then of course you're going to be by yourself.
You're a strong, independent woman who doesn't need a man. We never see a guy complain for being single. The problem is the fact that average women think they are too good for average men. They ignore their soulmates because of the delusion and illusion of better options. They end up competing for the same men and get played.
As women, can't we just be honest about the fact that a lot of girls aren't lonely because they can't find a decent man who's respectable, or men aren't men anymore? They're lonely because the expectations of what they want out of a relationship do not equate with who they are in relationships. You say you want a man who's emotionally mature, but whenever you're losing an argument, you start crying. That's emotional manipulation. Some of y'all want a man who's consistent, but you don't even post content consistently, let alone go to the gym consistently. And don't get me started on the meal plan you said you were going to start 3 weeks ago for your winter arc. You want a man with great communication skills, but you crashed out on the last one because you thought he was gaslighting you or manipulating you or he was a narcissist. Stop letting people get you out of character. That means you don't have good communication skills. All I'm saying is you can't expect a high-value partner when you are not a high-value partner. This fantasy idea that all the men are the bad ones and all the girls are just 10 out of 10s waiting for someone perfect. You're not perfect. 10 out of 10 is perfect. You're not perfect. And neither is the man that is also on your level. But you won't even give him a chance because in your mind, you're a 10 and he's a 5. But in reality, you're both 6s. Sit with that. The uncomfortable truth here, ladies, is that the dating market and the men are not the only problem. For a lot of the girls, self-awareness is the problem because you can't want better when you're not better.
One woman said she wants a man who leads, but don't tell her what to do. Lack of self-awareness indeed is the main reason.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness in women especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families, they built the roots, they built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility. Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty. That is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill. They just postponed it. And the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy, and independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose, because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate. It isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem. Abandoning it was.
Many years from now? No, I think it's happening now. Feminism destroyed human relations. As said by Morgan Stanley, by 2030, 45% are predicted to be alone and childless.
Reached a point where I feel that it is entitled and not right for a man to have an opinion about wanting children. I'm not talking about a couple coming to the conclusion that they want children together. That is very different. I am talking about men feeling entitled to the opinion that they want children when all that they have to do is orgasm, and then somebody else bears all of the health risks, the responsibility, everything. And they are walking around not with a desire to have like children with their partner. They just want children. And they're like, are you going to sacrifice your body for me? You good with that? They expect somebody to do that for them. To walk around this earth wanting children when your only contribution is orgasm, and you are expecting somebody to bear all of the responsibility for this and all of the risks, and you're just expecting somebody to give this to you, that is the most entitled, privileged thing I can ever think of. If the situation was reversed, women would not be doing this.
So remember, I don't know, those of you who watched another show that we did recently, where I talk about how they're coming for the dads. So it's not just about now, men hating where they hate, the guy that they are messing with, or they hate the guy that they're, in a relationship with, or they're hating. Then it shifted over to like the hating of the husbands, right? Now it's the dads, right? Ooh, can't stand the dads. So she's actually saying she can't stand that you guys out there, because you can't biologically carry a child like we can, you're not entitled to say that you want children. Can you imagine the psychosis going on in this woman's head? Let's just think about it for a second. Now, why is this happening? So there's an important point here. These women have been trained, they've been brainwashed, and they've been trained to hate their own biology, right? They're resentful of their own biology. Now, why is that? Because they've been told that their biology turns them into a slave, right? Oh, you're just going to be a housekeeper and a maid. That their biology is somehow enslaving them to the life of mom, which is going to keep them from working and keep them from making money. They bought into all these talking points that somehow, because they have a female anatomy, female biology, that they are now limited in capacity, that they are less than, that they are weaker, all these things. Now, we are weaker in many respects, but there's nothing to be embarrassed about, right? We aren't as strong as men physically. We all know that. Rational people can just 2 and 2 is 4, honey. But they're resentful of that reality. So now they feel like guys have no opinion, right? They're not allowed to have an opinion about anything that they can't do themselves. So I would ask her also, does that flip the other way too? Right? So should women not be allowed to have an opinion on things they can't do themselves? Because last I checked, all of you ladies want to have an opinion about everything. You're entitled to have an opinion about everything, but a guy's not entitled to say, hey, I want to be a dad. They want to take everything away from these guys because they're so A, they're resentful of their own biology, and B, they're jealous. They're jealous. These are women that are so die hard to compete with men. They're so die hard to do everything that a man can do just the way a man can do it, even if their own biology tells them they can't do that. They're so angry about that. They're so twisted about that, that it's coming out in these bizarre ways, right? It's almost like the implication is that guys could also carry a child, but are just choosing not to. And instead, they want you to do it. Guys can't carry children. Honey, the beauty of this is that men and women are supposed to come together, right? And it's a beautiful thing. Any good man out there, any quality man out there will say that a woman's ability to have a baby, to grow a person inside her body, is the most incredible, magical superpower thing that a woman can do. They honor it, they respect it, they love it. They love their women even more. They find, when their wives become pregnant, they find it super sexy and yummy, right? You're growing a child. It's amazing, right? Any good quality man is going to acknowledge that. But a lot of these women, they see it as, ugh, this is baggage. This is going to weigh me down. Because they've been brainwashed. They've been told time and time again that all of these things that make them a woman are weak, are less than, and they have to ditch all of them in order to be able to compete with a man and a man.
Most of this is corporate feminism. They don't know that they're being brainwashed into being girl bosses because companies can exploit them easier, because studies have shown that they can be paid less, won't kick up a fuss, won't demand a raise, and just go with the flow. But it's framed in the language of empowerment, which requires them to hate their own biology and their own femininity. When that's not enough, then they do what you described about attacking mums, dads, and anyone thinking about being a parent. It's the hate of what their mental instability won't allow them to have.
Here's something that I don't see anyone talking about, and it's the female loneliness epidemic. I just turned 23 and I am officially done with looking for new friends because nowadays, girls are fucking impossible to make friends with. Before you call me a pick-me, hear me out. In my experience, young women today do not know what it means to be a friend. They expect everyone, including other women, to chase them the same way men chase them romantically. It's always me texting first, it's always me making plans, it's always me arranging reservations to make hangouts happen, only to be told the day of that something came up, / they straight up admit that they forgot. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, girl. And their I'm so sorries are never followed up by, let me make it up to you. How about we do this or this instead? It's always just, I'm so sorry, blank. All these girls want to do is just be Instagram mutuals. They want to like your posts. They want you to like theirs. They want to swipe up on your story. They want little crumbs of your attention, but they are not actually looking for a real life friend with substance and value. And I don't know if any of you have ever used Bumble BFF, but don't. It is a bigger waste of time than actual dating apps for meeting men. And I've had a handful bad experiences on there, but I'll just tell you about the 2 most recent ones. So it's this girl, we match, we talk a little bit on Instagram. I see we have a couple hobbies in common. It's going well. We arrange to meet for a drink. And so we go, we have a drink together. It was I think after work for me, so I was really tired. It was only 2 hours, and then we went home. We both agreed that it went really well, and I was convinced that we were going to see each other again. I had to chase this girl for months to meet up again. And it wasn't me not getting the hint, mind you, because she was still texting me every day. She's like, I want to see you so bad. I want to see you so bad. But something keeps coming up. Oh my God, I'm in college. It's so busy, blah, blah, blah. And at the time I was working part-time. So I objectively had more free time than her. So whatever. Okay, sure. I kept sending her invites to different events, ads I see on Instagram, blank event on this date at this time, and it was always oh, I can't, oh this, oh that, I'm sorry, I've got this going on, blah blah blah. Never offering anything on her end. I remember the month of March rolled around, and she goes, okay, girl, I'm just going to be straight up with you. I cannot meet you all month in March because it's exam season. First of all, I'm so fucking sick of hearing this shit that it's exams. It's exams all the time. Right now, I'm doing a gap year, so I'm working. And all my friends are my age, college age. And they always have fucking exams all the time. And it's I'm sorry, but I don't know, maybe I just I'm a business major and we're stereotyped for having easy majors, but that's not how exams work. The way exams work is you start a semester and you have class, and then there's midterms for 3 days. You do the midterms and then you go back to class. There's no month full of exams. But whatever, I'm okay, fine. I do not bother her all March. April rolls around. On April 1st, I literally sent her an event, like a clubbing thing, restaurant, activity. I don't remember, some bullshit I saw on TikTok. And the date was like April 5th. She's like, oh, sorry, I can't make it. Okay. I wait a couple more days, say it's like April 4th, and I sent her like an event on April 30th. So like at the end of the month. She's like, oh my God, I have plans that day. I'm so sorry. I was like, you know what? Okay, girl. Okay. And I just stopped trying. I waited for her to send me something, offer me anything, make any sort of plans, and she just never did. And I just stopped like replying to her, like sending me random reels and like random bullshit. So this was girl number 1. Now girl number 2, it was a similar situation. They were both happening at the same time. It's this girl, same thing. We match, super good chemistry through text. Like we're just like laughing, sending each other voice memos. We have so much in common. We agree on so many topics. We're just vibing. I'm like, oh my God, I really see like a really good friendship with this person. I end up finally meeting her for the first time, at the club, because like I was, convoluted story, but I ended up like at the club with this guy I was seeing at the time, and she was there, and we just like danced for 5 minutes, and then she was like, oh girl, I gotta go, I'll be right back. Didn't come back, and I ended up like leaving with the guy like an hour later. Anyway, we get back to texting. I'm like, when can we hang out like properly, like like face to face in the daytime, so we can like talk, She's like, girl, definitely not this month because it's Ramadan. I'm thinking to myself, like, as far as I'm aware, during Ramadan, you are allowed to go outside, Like Muslims, during Ramadan, they go to work, they go to school, they do stuff. We don't have to go to a restaurant or anything. Like, we can just, like, take a walk in the park. Like, it's not that serious. But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you about religion. Over the course of the month, I see her hanging out with other people, though, like on her story. And at first, I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not a priority, like we don't know each other that well, sure. But eventually, I confront her. I'm a little bit like, oh, I thought you were not doing anything. You were not allowed to do anything this month. She's like, first of all, mind your business. Half of the posts I put up are like throwbacks, so they're not current, and the other half is me and my sister. So like, if you don't know any better, like, close your mouth. I'm like, okay, no problem. Ramadan ends, April rolls around, and guess what? Never hear from her ever again. I just moved into this new place that you can see right now. It's like really, really messy. And I decided to have a housewarming party where I just invited like my roommates, obviously, and a group of like my closest friends, or just like people that are in my life like currently. 2 girls that I invited did not show up. I let both of them know about the party like 2 weeks ahead. The day of, I send both of them a text like, hey, so we're gonna start at this time. This is the address. Hope to see you soon. The party was supposed to start at 6, and they both text me back at around like 3 or 4 p.m. And one of them goes, oh my God, girl, I'm so sorry. I can't make it today. I'm like super sick. I'm just like throwing up like in bed. I'm like so sick. And it's like, if you were that sick, then it probably didn't happen today. You couldn't have texted me last night. You had to text me the day of, like 2 hours prior. Like, you waited also for my text before you canceled. You couldn't have like let me know like, hey girl, I know that you're gonna be cooking food for like X amount of people for today. Like, don't worry, like count me out. You don't have to like make a portion for me. You couldn't do that. And then the other girl was like, oh my God, girl, I'm so sorry. I forgot I have to hand in a school project for tomorrow. Again, this is not how college works. Like, maybe she's like a different major, okay. But this is not high school where like you get a homework assignment on Monday and you have to hand it in for Friday. No. You your professor tells you about like a one or two big projects that you have to hand in by the end of the semester, and you progressively work on it like little by little over the course of months. I'm just saying there's no way, number one, that girl was actually sick and the other girl had a school project to hand in. They just didn't want to come, and they didn't even have the decency to let me know ahead of time, come up with something smarter. Like, they were not even gonna say anything. If I hadn't texted them the day of, they would have pretended like nothing happened. And this is why I am done just trying. Like, I'm done. Like, if like a female friend like falls from the sky for me, then yeah, of course, you know, like if we meet, I start a new job and like a girl that works there like I really like, and like of course, but no more looking, no more taking my hand out and saying, hey, do you want to take this friendship to the next level, come to my house, come hang out with me. No more making the first move on people, because it just takes up too much mental space and yields basically no results. It's just a waste of time. So yeah, let me know what your experience has been like. Let me know how you feel, but this is how I feel right now, so.
We all know women can't be women's best friends because they don't give each other the type of validation they crave. They can't stand each other, but somehow expect men to be always present and attend to them like they're butlers. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.